أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله رب العالمين اللهم صل على محمد سيد المرسلين وخاتم النبيين وحجة رب العالمين المنتجب في الميثاق المصطفى في الضلال المطهر من كل آفة البرية من كل عيب المؤمل للنجاة المرتجى للشفاعة المفوض إليه دين الله. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك، عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أخته العقيلة زينب وأخيه أبا الفضل العباس ورحمة الله وبركاته. قال سيدنا ومولانا جعفر بن محمد الصادق عليه أفضل الصلاة والسلام: استر ذهبك وذهابك ومذهبك. For the hasty appearance of Imam صاحب العصر والزمان، أرواحنا وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء loud صلوات. For your well-being and the well-being of your family, another louder salawat. Allahumma salli ala. A high percentage of people, the last thing they do before they go to bed is that they have the last glance on their screens. And the first thing they do when they woke up, they look at the screens. As what did I miss during that time that I was sleeping? And that is a problem that we face today in age. Back in 2007, June 29, 2007, a person by the name of Steve Jobs came and he introduced a device that baffled the world, that you all know it by the name of iPhone. So it's been 12 years since then. Now, that device that we all have, we use, has its pros and cons. And we will talk about the pros and the cons. How much do we share? Is it necessary to share? Share or not share? That is the question. Because today, in this time and age, we like to broadcast everything that we do. A person who goes to a cafeteria, he goes to a cafe, he goes to a restaurant, he likes to show the world what he's drinking, what he's eating. Sometimes we overshare, and that is itself is a problem. The Imam, Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdalus salati was salam, before I go into the hadith, if you look at the wordings of the Ahlul Bayt's hadith and the Quran itself, look at the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt's ahadith, you find that they talk about every aspect of our life. Even though we might think we live in the 21st century, it's not the time of Imam al-Sadiq, it's not the time of Imam al-Hussein, it's not relevant to us. It is relevant. Because we believe, as some do, that we evolved, we became better humans, we have changed because of the technology we have today, because of the advanced technology, because of the digital devices that we have, because of the lights, because of the commuting service we have now. We have TVs, we have screens, we have computers, we have airplanes, we have cars. Because of that, we became better human beings. But it's the opposite of that. The nature of a human being, we still have that greed. We still have that nature of cheating, nature of taking what's not ours, nature of lying, gossiping. We still have that disease that existed back in the time of the Imam, whether it was Imam al-Sadiq, Imam al-Kadhim, Imam al-Hassan, Imam al-Hussein. We still have that disease. Even if we live in the 21st century, it doesn't make us immune to it. actually the problem increases. And one of the problem is that screen that we all admire, that we look up to. 12 years since then, when you look at the statistics of how much do we consume from our daily lives when it comes to these screens, we overshare. We tell people everything. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi afdalu salati wassalam, our sixth Imam, says, Istur, conceal dhahabaka wa dhihabaka wa madhabak. That conceal your dhahab, your money, your wealth, how much you have, how much you own. No one has a right to know. Wa dhihabaka, your goings and comings. Wa madhabak, your beliefs, your religion, your faith. We go to each on every one of them. Because today when you go to different platforms, sometimes we stay up until late in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning. We go from screen to screen, from platform to platform, as if we lost something. When you finish with that device, because it ran out of battery and you couldn't find the cables to charge it, or you're so tired that you literally fall into the ground because of your lazy eyes or your tiredness, you come to that 1 minute of thinking and you think, what did I achieve from all that time on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Facebook? You know, Silicon Valley, that is a capital city of digital technology in the world. Silicon Valley. They have schools in Silicon Valley. They don't introduce screens until 8th grade. Silicon Valley. 72% of the attendees in that school, the students, are children of the executives of big, huge companies like YouTube, Google, so on and so forth. Why? Because they want the humans, me and you, to be introduced to what is more important than screens. Back in 2010, when they first introduced iPad, a person was speaking with Steve Jobs, that many questions he asked him. One of the reporters, the last question he asked him, he said this to Steve Jobs. He said, your kids, they love the new tablet. Yes, the iPads. And what Steve Jobs said to him is actually shocking. Steve Jobs said to him that we don't allow our kids use these devices. The person who is the co-founder of Apple says, I don't allow my children to use it. Just imagine that. And we limit the time for them to use anything like devices, whether it's a computer or anything like that. Of course, there are pros and cons to everything we have today. But when it comes to screens, it's a new thing. It's a new toy. You can have it as a toy. You can have that as a weapon. It can be a destroyer of life or a builder of life. And I go into how can it be a destroyer of life? How? How can it be a builder of life? The pros of this screen, you might say, what is the pros of it? The reason this was made was for us to communicate to one another, to have a relationship with one another. Even though we are living in a faraway country from the rest of our family, we can communicate with them. That is one of the pros of this device. People use this device to work, to send emails here and there. Of course, there is good coming out of this. Salat al-Rahim is one of them. But when it comes to cons, it comes to the bad things when it comes to this, is that, do I broadcast everything? When it comes to a marriage, you find the marital life now is challenged by many new things. In the old age, for a woman or man to spy on the neighbor, she had to go to the roof or second floor of our house, open the window and look into the house of another person, into the house of her neighbor, and spy on them. What did they buy? What is the new sofas, new cars? And then she has that conversation with her husband. They just had a new car. Why don't we have a new car? They have a new sofa. Why don't we have a new sofa? But today, in this time and age, it's much easier. Much easier. Just with your fingers, you can go up and down and you can see the whole life of the other person. Some people, they wake up in the morning just to show the world how they woke up, what did they eat, what they ate, what they drank, where they went. And you know, the YouTubers today and the Instagrammers today, before 20, 30 years ago, when you ask a child, what do you want to become? They tell you, a doctor, an engineer, such and such. But today, if you ask a child, one of the things that came into life right now, one of the professions that I don't consider as to be a profession, is becoming a YouTuber. That is a new thing, becoming an Instagrammer. Where the problem here lies, where is the problem? When a woman sits down for hours, when a man sits down for hours, from both sides, don't think it's just only from woman's side. Woman sits there and she sees her friend, her family member. She went to a new country, she went to Europe, she went to America, whatever she went. And then today, a person shows his room to the world before he sees it with his two eyes. The phone enters the room to show it to the world how this room looks like before he feels the room, before he sees the room. So he can show it to the world, this is the room I'm staying for the night. When the woman sees that, now the man, he might not have the power, the capacity, he's not competent to have the same lifestyle as the other family. Everyone is different. Some people, they have the capacity to go every year or every month for a vacation. Some people don't because of the problems they are in life. Now she sees that and there is a new spark of problem at home, that why they do it and we can't. Why they go there but we can't. And every married couple, they know this. Now when it comes to the man part of it, when a man sees a woman on Instagram, on Facebook, so on and so forth, that 10 kilos of makeup on her, 10 kilos of makeup on that face, and she's advertising, she's selling herself. And then he looks, oh, subhanallah, why you can't be like her? Why you can't be like this woman? Why can't you have the more attractive face like her? Well, first of all, she never gave birth to any child. That's one of the things. Second, she spent 3-4 hours just to work up on her face. The mascara, the foundation, the lipstick, and go on and go. I didn't know these names until I got married. They taught it to me. Naturally it comes to you, don't worry. Don't rush in life. It will come to you. So she spent that many hours working on her face, and the boys know, the youth know, how much you have filters and photoshopping to make yourself presentable. But if you look at that same person with that makeup, you can't tell which one is which. You can't tell if this is that the same person? Can it be? With that makeup. Now man sees that, and that is the problem itself. That he might think, well, why that man can marry such a model and I can't? My wife, after giving 5 children to me, giving birth to 5 children, she can't still look like such and such. I know names, but I don't want to mention them. Now, this is a new thing. That is the con itself. That is something that is not in our best interest. That's why the Imam says, Ustor, conceal, hide where you go, what you eat, how much you have. The other person doesn't have that capacity to have it. And in another hadith, Imam al-Sadiq says, if a person doesn't have any child, don't come and show off your child in front of them. because you'll break his heart. When a person doesn't have a house, don't come and show, has 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, and we have such and such. Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdalus salatu wassalam are very careful in the wordings. They know what is good for us. Now Silicon Valley, when they develop an app, when they make their money? Where do they make the money? I'm talking with research. They don't make the money when they launch the app. They make the money of how much time you, me, the consumer uses the app. How much time we invest in the app. Then they make money. Then this app can evolve, become, one of the biggest apps. Now, if you look, for example, at YouTube. In YouTube, you have muhadarat, for example. You have lectures here and there. A person can learn new things every day from YouTube. Now, I'm not talking only from the Islamic side of it. You might say, well, it always talks about Islamic side. No, from everything. Everything. It's a new platform that people use it. Even in universities, they use that platform to teach others. They want to study at home in the convenience of their own time. That is one of the things they can use. It's a new platform. It's a new digital tool they can use to learn. Yes. And in the same time, you have rubbish content, junk content on that same software, on that same website, on that same app. You have it. Millions, billions of hours is spent on all these platforms. As of course, one brings you forward, makes you a better person, and the other takes you back. The other makes you a worse human being, a person that you can't live with. If you see the 5 parts of life, the 5 that are divided in life, the life that is divided into 5 parts, that 24 hours. You see that we have what? We have in life, that 24 hours, we spend some of it sleeping, the other times we spend it to work and commute, and then we have the survival, personal, and worship. We spend some time to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We spend time to survive, to eat, to drink, to raise our children, to work, to commute, to sleep. Back in 2007, when the first iPhone came out, and since then, they sold, in that 12 years, they sold more than 1.6 billion devices. That's only Apple. If you come to other companies, and some people are fans of Samsung and so on and so forth, may Allah guide you to the right path. Of course, there are others they buy. But since 2007, if you look at the statistics of the time that are spent on that devices, and every year becomes more and more and more. It comes to the point we are addicted to it. That is one of the cons, and the most important one, because it's spreading. An average male and female spend on these screens 1 hour a day and go up. 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours. And then if that device, this one, turns off because of that doesn't have any battery, he moves to another one. That one turns off, he comes back to this one because now it has some juice in it. And then go with it. Go with the flow. It increases. That addiction, some compared it to the addiction of drug. Some compare it to addiction of drug. And they say that after hundreds of brain scans, we found that what drug does to a human being, screen does to the human being of the amount he uses, that is more than normal, same, and the scans are similar. In South Korea, They have rehab centers where they come and they do what? They bring you to these rehab centers if you have the addiction, and they try to bring you back into the natural life, trees. This is a tree, this is a pen, this is a book. To do what with you? To heal you. It's addiction. And it's increasing every single day. In South Korea, there was a person a couple of years ago that after spending 36 hours non-stop playing game, he fell to the ground dead. Because his liver's shut down, his kidneys shut down, that's it. Body can't take anymore. If you go to South Korea, they have the highest speed of internet. In addition to that, the gaming centers, they call them, when you go sit down there to play, the chairs must be the most comfortable chairs. If you're hungry, you can order from your chair, and they bring food to you, so you don't have to get up and go anywhere else. The only thing they can't do is the bathroom. They have to get up to go to the bathroom, and that is a problem they're facing today. And the amount of money you spend is cheaper than anywhere else to spend the night there. Spend a week there. And you're sitting down. If you're hungry, food comes to you. If you're hungry, whatever you want. And then you spend time playing. That's cancer if you look at it. And it's spreading. It's spreading. When you have such a device that can ruin a person's marriage, that can ruin his own understanding of himself, the way he defines himself, that am I good enough for the society? Why? Because he sees another person. That person, because of the way he looks, because of life he has, I'm not good enough. Because of the followers he has, because of the likes he has, because of the subscribers he has, I'm not at his level. Why? Because he sees the world going that path. For male and female. The male looks at it in one way. Female looks at it in a different way. How can I be like her? How can I be presentable, attractive, like her? And the male looks at it differently. How can I have her? How can I have her? And the problem goes on and on and on. So the Imam says, Ustur dhahabaka wa dhihabaka wa madhabak. Conceal it. You don't have to broadcast every single thing you do in your life. You don't have to. Where you go, where you come, what you eat, there's no need for you to do such a thing. Why? Because I want to please others. I want to make them happy with me. I want to have more likes. The more crazier thing I do, I can have more views online. And the boys know what I'm talking about. More I have of that, I can have more likes. More I have of that, I have more subscribers. And now it became a profession. It became a profession. A person can be such a clown. And with that clowniness, he can make money. Become a YouTuber. So what does the Imam say? Ustur dhahabaka wa dhahabaka wa mathabak. What does Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam says? استعينوا على قضاء حوائجكم بالكتمان فإن كل ذي نعمة محسود. When you grow to become an adult, mature enough, you understand more and more of the hadith of Ahlul Bayt. What does this mean? What does he say? He says, conceal your life. Keep it a secret. Don't broadcast it. Why? The Prophet ﷺ says, as to every blessed man and woman, the ni'mah, he has ni'mah, is what? He's envied by others. He's envied by others. Because he has that, I have jealousy on him. Because if he has that, I have envy upon him. The Prophet ﷺ makes it clear for us. He says that. He says, "Ista'inu ala qada'i hawaijikum bil kitman." Whatever you do, conceal it. Keep it a secret. Don't broadcast it. Because you have that ni'mah, Allah has given you that ni'mah. There is no need for you to tell others, I bought a house. There's no need for you to tell others, I bought such and such. There's no need. Why? Because you want to show off with that? That showing off will bring the true nature of the other person. We were sitting down in Shahr Ramadan al-Mubarak a couple of years ago in one of the brothers' house. He invited us for iftar. I tell you how people are, and you have your own stories, you have your own experience with them. This person, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Allah has made him wealthy. He has money. So he invited people, and they were sitting down, a huge number of people, more than 100 in his house, and they were sitting down having iftar. I heard with my 2 ears, the person sitting right next to me started to bring this person's life into calculation. How much he makes, how much he bought this house, how much cost him to renovate it, how much his car is, how much it cost him to make this iftar. To make this iftar, this same iftar here he was eating, he was thinking how much it cost him for 100 people to make this iftar. And he invited them for iftar. Just imagine. Well, he said what he said. 2 months later, we heard that this person has cancer, the owner of the house. It's because of that people can't see it sometimes with the others. They have the ni'mah. He is driving the best of the cars. You have that in the society, unfortunately, in the community. He is driving the best car, 2019 model. But if he sees another person driving a 2010 model, he says, why? Where did he get the money from? How could he afford this, such a thing? And this is not only in our community, in our society. This is in every society, in every community. He comes to the house to congratulate you for buying this house, but deep down, he's burning. How could this person afford such a house? How could this person live in such a neighborhood? This is a sickness. This sickness doesn't start in one place and ends in another. It spreads. And with today's device, it's now more convenient for me and you, to find out what others are doing and the secrets, goings and comings with this. That is a problem that lies into these screens. Now, we have established there is a problem. And whoever denies such a problem is in denial. And that happiness that you're looking for throughout these platforms of Snapchat, Instagram, and go on with the names, with the apps, Facebook, YouTube, it's only merely a delusion that you might find the happiness there. There's no happiness there. Because who is showing their lives, them themselves are not happy. They don't know how to fulfill their own desires. That void, they can't fill it up. They can't. Who can fill up that void? Who can fill up that emptiness that you might think that I can fill it with 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of sitting down on that device going page to page? Quran, Ahl al-Bayt, only. There you find happiness. Then there you find what makes you full, makes you a better person. So what is the solution for such a problem? The solution for such a problem, we need to go on digital diet. The hours that I spend on that device, my child uses on that device, has to come down. Some children, they don't eat unless there is a phone in their hands. They're watching their favorite show, so the bites go into their mouth. He can't. He will jump ups and down because I want that device. 92%, listen to this statistics, that is a staggering, shocking one. 92% 2-year-olds in the United States, they have an online record. It doesn't mean that the hospitals, they put the name and the gender online. No. They themselves use the internet So they know where they lean into, what they want. If they want the new cartoon or they want this app, 92% 2-year-olds. Two. A 2-year-old today can use the phone better than me and you. 2-year-old uses it better than me and you, as if this was made for him. A 2-year-old. 74%, they use this device, these screens, more than 5 hours. Teenagers. There are competitions in the world every year that you go to this competition, the Olympics of games. Whether it's on PS4 or Xbox. And you sit down there just to watch them playing. And you can find those videos on YouTube as well. You don't have to buy a plane ticket to go see it in San Diego or in San Francisco. No. In your home, at the comfort of your house, you can watch people playing, not you playing. You can watch them playing. Fortnite, Battle Royale, they spent, the first month that it was launched, more than 350 million hours on it. And now the number, of course, went way up. We are willing to spend that much time on this. We are willing to do. And I'm not telling you don't use any time to entertain yourself. Actually, entertainment in Islam is encouraged to entertain yourself. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to encourage his companions to go camping, to race. And Rasulullah used to come, join one team, and when he joins any of the teams, they win. And then when they win, the other team starts to nag, why? Come to us. So he goes to them and the other team wins. Rasulullah used to joke with his cousin, Imam Ali. They used to joke around. And of course there is a limit for everything. There is boundaries for everything. But Rasulullah didn't go overboard. And there was a clown in Medina who used to always make fun of Rasulullah, of others. One day Rasulullah went to the mosque to pray salat. He came and he pulled the sajjada from underneath Rasulullah. Rasulullah fell on his face. The Sahaba came to punish this man. Rasulullah said to him, there is limit for everything. Even the smiling of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah never laughed loudly. He never laughed loudly. He smiled. He smiles. The most extent of that was that you see his teeth. That was it. But today we have to joke and laugh like the Joker. So loud. Habibi. And we bang our heads. And there's a limit for everything. There is a limit for joking. There is a limit for entertainment. There is a limit. We are willing to spend all that time on such platforms, on such things. But when it comes to reading one page of Quran al-Kareem, we can't. Why? Because we didn't spend any time on that. And the only month the Quran al-Kareem comes down from the shelves and for the people to read it, that is the month of Hassan. The month of Ramadan. And everyone who starts to read, no, I don't want to read. Why? I don't have my glasses. That's one of the excuses. He doesn't know how to read. And when he starts to read, every line, 10 mistakes. Why? Because there's not much time spent on the Quran. So what is the conclusion here? One, we establish that spying on others is not the right way to live our life. Sharing everything we do is not in our best interest. What makes us a better human is not the likes on our posts, not the comments on our posts. It doesn't make us better people. That is only a delusion. And what makes us better is what we find in the most important parts of life. And that is to seek the knowledge of Ahlul Bayt Salamullah alayhim. From that 24 hours, we can divide it into parts. One, for me, that I want to entertain myself, watch movies, do halal, of course. And the part that I educate myself. That same YouTube channel that you go there, that same YouTube website can teach you how to recite Quran, can give you some information about Ahlul Bayt Salamullah alayhim. Searching the right thing, seeking the right thing. That makes us a better people. Not screens. Screens can be turned off. There are toys. We haven't got the grip of them yet because they are new in our life. 12 years, let's say 30 years. Let's give it 30 years. But we still don't know how to use it. It is a weapon. Same time, it's something good that we can do with that to make us a better human beings, to find our own identity, define ourselves. Because you lose that when you seeking the wrong path, when you go into the wrong path. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم كل وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. يا رب الحسين بحق الحسين اشف صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. يا رب الحسين بحق الحسين اشف صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. يا رب الحسين بحق الحسين اشف صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. اللهم اجعل عواقب أمورنا خيرا. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. اللهم عجل فرجه، سهل مخرجه، اجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه يا رب العالمين. يا مفيد يا غفور يا ودود، اغننا بحلالك عن حرامك وبطاعتك عن معصيتك وبفضلك عمن سواك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. الفاتحة قبلها الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.